Aw, squish.
What is up, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Khrisstian's Customs. Now, in today's episode, we're installing the Jeff Sylvester short shifter into my 1988 Mazda 323 GTX. But before we get started, I just wanted to talk about the short shifter a little bit. It is 100% absolutely amazing. He changes the fulcrum point inside of the short shifter, hence why one is so much taller than the other one. Also, the welds that are put on this are super strong. I know they're going to hold up. When I purchased mine, it came unpainted because Jeff had to go out of town, but I told him that's completely fine. I wanted to paint it anyways, and I think it turned out really nice. But yours might show up and it looked a little bit different than mine. Maybe even the shifter is painted. I wasn't too worried about it. I had no problem getting this to fit into my 323. I had no problem with the brackets fitting onto it that come from the factory, and everything had been gone through. So he checked all of the nylon, the plastic, and the rubber that is attached to it. My shifter makes no noise whatsoever anymore. I'm not so sure if he has a way of reproducing these parts or if he's just hooking me up because he had new old stock. I don't even know where he is getting these parts from, but everything is essentially brand new. Plus, it's a short shifter. So I went from having 5 inches of throw to having a little bit over 3 inches of throw. And this is awesome. It's a fantastic product. If you have any questions about purchasing this product or his shifter bushings that I also do a video on, make sure you hit up Jeff Sylvester on Facebook. Now that we're past me being a fanboy of all his products, let's just go ahead and jump right into this install video.
I removed this screw, took this off. I got one more screw here. There's another screw right here. And then I will slide the seat forward and get this last screw that's right here. I take my shift knob off. Weighted shift knob. Wow, that thing's heavy. Guess that's why it's called a weighted shift knob, eh? Now I'm going to show you how to take out this center console. Now I already have these 2 screws removed and these 2 screws removed right here. And I simply slide this backwards like that. And what I'm trying to do is get these little ears out from behind the center console. I slide that back, and I'm going to lift this back section up and I slide it forward into the boot. Now I already have the shifter into a forward gear. So then I just kind of lift it up and over, and there we go. And these were the little ears I was talking about I didn't want to break. This is the last one right here that we need to take off to get this out. And this bracket just kind of supports the piece. So there you go. Now you're able to slide this forward. Have this little clip right here. Just like that.
And then on the driver's side, you have the antenna.
And then I will lift this up and out of the way till I can get to the wiring. You might have a little bit of trouble getting over your e-brake. Sometimes you push that back forward. There we go. Now I should be able to get to the wiring. So the order it goes in is I take this one off, then I'm able to get to this, so I can lift that tab up, get that one off. I get this one loose, and then I pop this one off, and then get this one loose. These bushings are normally worn out. I will replace it later on. I will show you what I use to rebuild them and how I end up fixing them. But for right now, I just wanted to show you just how much slop was inside of this. Get both of these clips off, this one here and this one here. Lift these off and set them to the side. Now we need to get the rest of the shifter linkage loose, and so what I need to do is get these, they're essentially brake line clips off. So what I do is take my pair of needle nose and I just kind of lift up on them like so. These are a little bit hard to work with. I can't really slide them forward or anything like that. They're just so stiff. So what I need to do is get the bracket loose. Now I need to get all these nuts out of here. So this one here, there's one hiding right here. There's another one hiding right here. And then there's another one right here. Now that this bracket is loose, I'm able to lift up on it, and then I can just slide it out. It might be stuck, but I just kind of pull up, and then I'll slide it back. And now that I've slid it back, I'm able to get these out of here. Finally get it removed. These are the bushings I was talking about earlier that go out. Now what I've made mine out of is a M10 wall plug for like drywall. They look like this. You can pick them up at some hardware stores. I had to order mine online. And then I'm going to use 2 nylon washers on the ends. Then I take the other bushing, I put it on there, and I press it on. Might be a little bit hard to get off, so I'm going to grab it with a pair of needle nose. I kind of wiggle it and slowly pull it off. Now I can install one of these. This one is for the other side. I did put grease on this one. Maybe it'll make it a little bit easier to push it in. And then, pink, just pop that off. Man, why didn't I put grease on the first one? That was so dumb. Don't forget to reinstall this bracket. Make sure that the insulator did not stick to the bottom of the shifter. I also take it out and I clean it really good. And then I'm going to reinstall it. Now to install the Jeff Sylvester short shifter, so I'm going to set my shifter linkage into place, and then I will slide the short shifter forward. Once I get those locked in place, I will kind of set it down, and then I'll slide it forward, and then get those studs lined up and set into place. The carpet always gets caught right here, so make sure you pull it back and get it set down. Now I'm going to get this bracket set back in place. There is an arrow in the center of it, so you know which direction it needs to go. Reinstall the nuts. Now that I have all the nuts hand tight, I'm going to tighten them down, but I wanted to show you, you don't want to start with the outer ones first. Start with this one, then go to this one, then this one, and then this one. And then I would go back to this one and tighten it down the rest of the way. See what I'm saying? Kind of distribute the force. Reinstall my clips. Might not be a hammer, but it works the same. And now I'll reinstall my shifter linkage. Now it's time to get the cotter pins reinstalled. Oh, don't tell me you're too tight. This should work. What if we put it in from this side? Oh, see, it slides right in. What the hell? There it goes. It's tight. It's not too tight, is it? No, it's not too tight. You can see it freely moving in there. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect fit. Damn, now I wish I would have painted my shifter. It's all rusty. So I grabbed me a couple of these. I got one. It just fits perfect right over it. All I'll do is put that one on the bottom, and then I'll put these other ones up top. So I have the radio portion here. I don't even have the radio in. I don't have the center console in. And what I've done is just slipped it on and installed one little screw right here to hold it down while I was checking to see if the shift was still good. And you can tell that it fits absolutely perfect. There's a little bit of up and down play on the boot. The boot isn't extended too far, so I'm not worried about it tearing. Mine's in really nice shape, so it has a lot of play still. But I love the factory look and the short shifter feel. It just is absolutely perfect. So this is what I'm rolling with for right now. Now I'm going to reinstall my head unit area, and when I'm installing this, it's already a 37-year-old piece of plastic. So just be careful. Pull that into a gear further back, and then I'm going to install this piece. Just like so. I'm just going to let it hang out here. Then I'm going to reinstall all my wiring. The antenna plugged back in. Now that I have all the wiring installed, now I'm able to get it put into position. Now I catch on the other side right here, this floor mounted bracket, I catch every time. So I'm going to show you what I do. I set it there and then I kind of pull it around it. There we go. Now the shifter might catch. I'm not really having a problem with it while it's in neutral. I just keep on scooting it forward. And then once I get past the e-brake, then I'm able to start lowering it down. This piece needs to go over this other piece. And they will overlap wrong. So make sure that you're working on the other side at the same time. You see it'll just pop right past it and go underneath. So we get it like that, and then we scoot it into place. There we go. There's little ears that slide underneath this center console. Now it's time to reinstall the piece. So what I'm worried about is getting my seat belt stuck underneath, and I've already engaged the clutch and moved my shifter forward. Take this and I push it into the shifter boot like that. I'm going to get my seat belts out of the way, and I drop it down. There we go. Now I got my e-brake right in there, and I slide it back. Now this little metal piece will scratch up the plastic, so make sure you're lifting up. Then you can get the ears tucked back underneath the center console. There it is. That was very simple. Now all I have to do is install the two screws here and the two screws here. I do want to make sure that this wiring is clipped into position. There are two holes right here, and they line up with these studs that are on the back side. So what I do is I get it set down there, and I get this piece clipped in first, and then I get the rest clipped in and get the screw installed. Install my shifter. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Now, I do have several other videos out already on my channel for this Mazda 323 GTX, so make sure you check those out. Hit the like and subscribe, hit me up in the comments, and you'll see me next time.